I don't think Pete Buttigieg makes it out of a primary. You think there's any chance Pete even ends up VP on a ticket in 2028?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Look, he checks all the boxes, right? He is,
Mhm.
look, say what you will about Pete Buttigieg. And frankly, on a policy standpoint, and in my third book, Radical Nation,
Mhm.
I actually, this is before, like, his whole history as the mayor of South Bend, Indiana is pathetic. I mean, he controlled 66 buses, 66, and somehow he was appropriately qualified to run the Department of Transportation, oversee airways, highways, and seaways. Um, and his tenure there is pathetic, horrible,
Mhm.
right? And yet, but the Democrats like him because he literally fits the bill. I think he's got a good look. He speaks well, smart. He's I think academically a smart guy. He's got a good resume because veteran, served overseas, and he's gay. So I think
Mhm.
that he can get through the primaries. And that's the key, right? So the one thing, the people who champion a guy like Rahm Emanuel, could he be formidable in terms of raising money at a general election standpoint? Probably, but it's like anything else. Explain to me how you get to the World Series if you don't make it to the playoffs, right? And that's the
Mhm.
problem that Rahm has. Pete's the other way. I look at completely in the inverse, which is I think he could get the primary voters excited, but that's it.
Absolutely. I mean, he win the Iowa caucus when he ran in 2020. I mean, he was doing pretty well. He has a lot more name ID, but
Right.
I think his record at DOT is going to be bad because, like you said, the only experience he had was fixing potholes in South Bend, Indiana, and
No,
then he
no,
did.
no. Just to be clear, he wasn't even a strong mayor, right? I
Right.
mean, meaning that he didn't even get that right. But
Hmm.
but but what I will say is that at DOT, aside from the massive policy failures, and there's a ton, there wasn't an area in his purview that there wasn't a crisis. Not one.
Right.
Okay? Highways, airways, seaways, not one. And he failed every time.
Right.
He spent over $80 billion funneling through DEI, and which I get. He in his failed presidential bid, he had a huge problem with black voters, and so I actually thought it was brilliant of him to take the job of DOT because you hand out grants. So you can go to big metropolitan cities where there's a huge black population and start handing out money and ingratiate yourself to the community. So it's not just about handing out a check. You get to come in and talk about these projects and how they're going to benefit there, maybe create some jobs, et cetera, right? Brilliant move. After all that money, he's polling at 0% with the black vote. Now, remember, polls are usually plus or minus 3 to 5%. So that
Hmm.
means he could literally be in the hole after spending $80 billion reaching out specifically to DEI type groups.